Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel, and for the next 4 weeks, our show is coming to you from the New London Barn Playhouse. Today, I'll be joined by Keith Cloughlin, the Executive Artistic Director here at the Barn Playhouse, as we take a look at the improvements that are in progress and will make your visit next summer better than ever. Gail Bostic and Scott Walace will show us the South Newbury Friendship House and its needs for renovation. Dana Myskowski, the new Executive Director of MainStreet Warner, will show us around their new acquisition, the Masonic Lodge, and tell us of their vision for its future. And we'll close with part 2 of Gail Matthews' story about her battle with lung cancer. Don't go away as we hear from the good businesses that make our area their home and provide support for our cultural and educational institutions. Please stay with us.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more. With more frequent major weather events, don't say again, I should have installed a generator. H.R. Clough provides the best home generator systems available from Generac. Our highly trained personnel provide you a complete turnkey installation. For a free estimate, call the H.R. Clough Company today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
Simple solutions in a challenging world. Let Echo Communications make your life simpler. From the beginning, creating design through the commercial print process and ending with custom mailing, all easily coordinated in one place. Echo Communications provides simple solutions in a challenging world. One place, many solutions. Learn more at echocominc.com.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel, coming to you from the New London Barn Playhouse here on Main Street. A little bit chillier than you might be used to when you sit in these seats, but nonetheless, the season is coming. We're so excited. I'm joined by Keith Cloughlin, the Executive Artistic Director here. Hi, Keith.
Hi, Abby. Thanks so much for being here. Welcome.
I always love to come when it's, give people a taste of what it looks like during the regular season of the barn. It gives a little insight of what's behind the doors when it's closed.
Yeah, we love the barn, but it is a totally different experience when we can bring all people together and have those wonderful artists on this stage,
totally.
and it comes to alive in that moment. So it's taking a rest in this moment.
Much needed.
Yep.
Let's talk about everything that's happening outside of the barn. I don't know if people might be able to hear a little bit because it's active construction today. Lots is happening with the Play Apart campaign. Give us a construction update.
Yeah, we've been just over the moon for our Play Apart campaign. So many years in development and design to really take a strong look at things that we can do to enhance the barn.
Yeah.
And it's active. If
so
you
fun.
have been by on Main Street, you see the new Fleming Center for Artistic Development and lots of activity. We've taken a real true focus to enhance not only what it means to work and produce and create at the barn, but what it means to be a patron, their patron experience. From the moment you drive up to the moment you drive away, patron's going to recognize what we've been able to do or what we're doing right now to enhance that experience. It continues. We're making goals to have things for our patrons complete by the 2022 season. And there is a lot of elements that people are going to just be marveled to come and see.
It's really exciting. I think some of the big ones, obviously the Center for Artistic Development's a brand new structure over there. It's now called the Fleming Center, which is super exciting based on a donation. But things like bathrooms on the main level, elevators, accessibility in and out of the barn, which is huge, which has been working, but now it's just going to be that much better for someone who comes here and can just have the ease.
I often have said in this process, if you have been a patron and you love the barn, it's only going to enhance your experience.
Perfect way to put it.
What you know and love about the Barn Playhouse will remain. It's just going to make it that much better. If you've never been to the barn, you want to come and check it out. Not only to see the enhancements that are going to be made, but to come to see a show. And if there is any of those patrons out there that have maybe have had challenges, whether it be in parking, accessibility, or what that experience is like, we've we've taken a lot of diligent thought and work to make that better. You know, everyone knows Fenway Park and the long history of what that is. And when they made advancements and changes, they kept what everybody loved about Fenway.
Right.
They only made it better for what that experience is. We'll say that the barn campaign has been the same. What you know and love about the history of this wonderful 200-year-old building stays the same. But your experience from the moment you drive up, new paved and striped parking lot, to accessibility with elevators, patron bathrooms on the main level, wonderful courtyard, is just going to enhance what that patron experience is. And that's just one component of all the other things that we've done for work conditions for our employees and staff.
Well, and I think the other really important part to mention is the support that this campaign has gotten has been unbelievable. And you're only a year in, thinking about wrapping it up shortly, but talk about the support that you've seen as the community and just the donations that have made this possible.
I can honestly say that I have been humbled. We take such great pride in that we are the stewards of this organization that has been around for 90 years. And we feel the support. We, especially during the time of the pandemic and COVID, our supporters have kept us going through. But the support for this campaign has been overwhelming. I always knew that the community supported the barn in this way, but it has come in incredible ways that we take even more pride and responsibility to entertain, to create for our patrons, and are thrilled and excited to welcome people back to our artistic home and what that's going to look like next summer.
We're going to make sure to keep up to date with you throughout the winter of all the fun things that are happening, because I think it's fun to not only pass by, but for those that aren't going to be here till the summer, to give a little construction update. But next week when I'm back with you, we're going to talk about the fun 90th season that you have planned back here in the barn. So everyone stay tuned. But Keith, thanks for joining me this week.
Thank you so much. Glad to share the excitement that's happening here at the Barn Playhouse.
Exciting. When we return, we'll visit the Friendship House in South Newbury and get the vision for its future. First, please listen to these words from the businesses that make your Yankee Chronicle possible.
Warner's Main Street Bookends has been your community bookstore since 1998 and voted Yankee Magazine's Editor's Pick Must-See Bookstore. Bookends is a full-service store offering a huge selection of current fiction and nonfiction with children's book selection, toys, and games. Bookends has a huge card selection for all occasions, along with Main Street Marketplace and Gallery in the attached barn. 100% solar, Main Street Bookends of Warner is building your community one book at a time.
There's a big difference between a big box store and a LaValle Middleton building supply.
When you're a local store, you need to compete with the bigger chains. So we've combined our purchasing power with over 300 independent lumberyard and home centers, and we've passed those savings on to you.
Our customers have grown up with our stores, and now their kids are shopping here with our kids.
We have everything you need for any home improvement project you can think of.
And the possibilities are endless.
If we had a motto, it would be neighbors helping neighbors build a community.
There's a big difference between a big box store and a LaValle Middleton building supply.
When you're a local store, you need to compete with the bigger chains. So we've combined our purchasing power with over 300 independent lumberyard and home centers, and we've passed those savings on to you.
Our customers have grown up with our stores, and now their kids are shopping here with our kids.
We have everything you need for any home improvement project you can think of.
And the possibilities are endless.
If we had a motto, it would be neighbors helping neighbors build a community.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel. The Friendship House was deeded from the town of Newbury to the church next door years ago. Its functions as a community center is in need of some care by South Newbury. Let's hear more.
Okay, this is originally schoolhouse number 1 in South Newbury. It was built in 1853, and it's been a schoolhouse since 1854 to 1954, when it was deeded to the South Newbury Union Church, or actually the church. At that point, it was probably a different denomination, but it was donated to the church for $1 with the provision that it would be used by the community free of charge. Anyone in Newbury can use this building free of charge. So over the years, it's been converted into a more useful facility with a kitchen, a bathroom, and an office. Before COVID hit, we were actually doing very well at getting different organizations to use our building. AA clinics, rabies clinics, flu shots, blood drives, a music cafe. We've always used it for our fundraisers, and what you just said, the building was getting tired, the foundation needs work, the kitchen is showing its age, and we really wanted to make the building more useful to the community by making some structural changes and some layout. So, in here is our kitchen. It's not a bad kitchen, but it's more of a residential kitchen than it is a commercial kitchen. If you look at our sink, you can see that it's your standard household sink, even though we have huge pots that we have to wash during our dinners. So we get a dinner prepared in here. We serve anywhere up to 80 people on any given monthly fundraising dinner. But this is about it. Our food pantry is down here, and you can see we're trying to house all the products for a food pantry in this one little cupboard. We don't have room for a freezer. A freezer would be really nice. The room itself, isn't so bad. The floor is getting a little tired. But mainly part of the other issue was the foundation of this building. And here's all our storage. If you note, this isn't even a heated space. This is just attached on the side of the building because we're so hard up for storage. As we leave the main room, we have our bathroom. It's maybe okay when they built it, but there's no way you can get a wheelchair in here, so it's not ADA compliant. This is the end wall of the building, and there'll be a food pantry and a kitchen all on this side of the building. This office, it's the church office right now, will be removed, and there'll be a addition almost as big as the main room here for use as a conference room and Sunday school and all those other things. Everything's going to be modern. The heating system is going to be updated so that we have air conditioning in the summer and heat in the winter. So this building will be, useful year-round to anyone in the community. Okay, this is the proposed renovation of the Friendship House. On this side, this is the building as it exists right now. There's an addition right here, a very small one where the office is. We're going to remove that and we're going to replace it with this. This will house a conference room, the church office, 2 bathrooms, one being handicap accessible, and a front vestibule, which will be accessed from the outside. So if anyone wants to use our bathrooms, even when the building isn't in use or open, for example, if you're going bike riding or you're going running, you can actually use our bathroom.
The proposal that Scott made, we estimate about a $250,000 goal, of which we have about $140,000. We are very encouraged by the response of the community because this is going to be their place. We have wonderful parking. We have a big room. We have, in the past, we have had some wonderful, wonderful things. We have our food pantry, which we can't not talk enough about. As I said, we are giving out 40 baskets this year for both Thanksgiving and for Christmas. And in the facility that we have, this is very difficult. However, if we could get just a freezer, a bigger refrigerator, we could be so much more helpful to the community. So we're hoping that you will consider donating to helping us build this community room for the community of Newbury and the surrounding towns. If you'd like to donate, you can go to our website, and if there's any questions, please feel free to call Scott Walace or myself, and we would love to discuss it with you.
Thanks, Gail and Scott, for your efforts. If you can help in one way or another, please contact them. Up next, we'll visit the new home of MainStreet Warner. But now, another word from the community-minded businesses that make it possible to bring you Yankee Chronicle.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more. H.R. Clough installs water conditioning systems to purify your water and add life to your hot water heating system. Now is the perfect time for one of our expert staff to evaluate your needs. For a free estimate, call H.R. Clough today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
Warner's MainStreet Bookends has been your community bookstore since 1998 and voted Yankee Magazine's Editor's Pick Must-See Bookstore. Bookends is a full-service store offering a huge selection of current fiction and nonfiction with children's book selection, toys, and games. Bookends has a huge card selection for all occasions, along with Main Street Marketplace and Gallery in the attached barn. 100% solar, Main Street Bookends of Warner is building your community one book at a time.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel. Last year, MainStreet Warner purchased the Masonic Hall. Let's hear from their new executive director about their vision and future of the building. Tell us more, Dana.
Thank you, Abby. So MainStreet Warner, Inc. is a community nonprofit located in the heart of Warner, New Hampshire. We have been around since 2020, established by 3 who moved to Warner and noticed that something wonderful is happening here. And since we've been helping the community to bring arts and literature and scholarships to high schoolers, et cetera, continuing on that mission of working with the community to bring both entertainment and literature and understanding to the community, we acquired this building, the Masonic Lodge, in September of 2020. The height of the COVID pandemic, the board got together and decided, yes, this was a necessary step in the evolution of MainStreet Warner, Inc. Not only will it provide a premier arts venue eventually and additional meeting space, but most importantly, it will provide a commercial community kitchen, which is part of our new expanded mission to attend to the needs of food security in our community and in the communities that surround Warner. So the main hall was built in 1833. It was built built as a Baptist church, and we are not only going to turn that into a premier arts center, but it's also going to be a space for after-school theater programs and during school presentations and whatnot. Being built in 1833, we have a dirt basement, but we have a beautiful attic. And I've been told this because I'm afraid of heights, so I haven't gone up there myself. But we also have beautiful stained glass windows. And so there are 4 existing stained glass windows that are in considerable disrepair. So we've got a quote to fix those up. So we will be restoring those 4 windows. We have a gorgeous late 1800s pipe organ that we also plan to restore to its full glory. It is working, so really we're hoping that the steps aren't too great to get that back. We've been told that we can have about 200 people in that facility. A couple of us aren't sure that it's really that high, but once plans get going, the fire marshal will let us know exactly how much. Next to it is a building that was built in around the 1950s. It's like a community meeting hall, and then the Masons who acquired the building for their purposes in the late 50s, early 60s, they added a community kitchen, kind of a church kitchen to the back for receptions and things like that. So that's where we got the basis for believing that we could become a community commercial kitchen and provide that space. So right now it's about 200 square feet, and we plan to double that to just under 400 square feet of space. And we also have a community meeting room and add 2 bathrooms, 2 half baths, one being accessible, ADA accessible. And then going out the front of the building, we're going to add a nice large deck so that we can have outdoor space and meetings in the summer months too. So MainStreet Warner Inc. is just beginning to get their capital campaign committee together. And we are planning to do some serious fundraising for probably the next 2 or 3 years to raise the money necessary. The first order of business is to get the kitchen up and running by September 1st next year. So we are going after funds to get that going. And we're going after grants, but we need the whole community to help us out. So we do have a donate page on our website, MainStreetWarnerInc.org. And certainly checks can be delivered to P.O. Box 130 in Warner, New Hampshire. So, yep, any help that anyone wants to do, we are more than willing to accept the help.
What a great plan, and it is nice to see our older buildings renovated and turned to new uses. Last week we heard the first part of Gail Matthews' story kicking off Lung Cancer Awareness Month. When we come back, we'll have part 2 of her journey. Stay with us now as we bring you a few words from the local businesses that are still with us even during these COVID times.
Simple solutions in a challenging world. Let Echo Communications make your life simpler. From the beginning, creating design through the commercial print process and ending with custom mailing, all easily coordinated in one place. Echo Communications provides simple solutions in a challenging world. One place, many solutions. Learn more at echocominc.com.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more, with more frequent major weather events. Don't say again, I should have installed a generator. H.R. Clough provides the best home generator systems available from Generac. Our highly trained personnel provide you a complete turnkey installation. For a free estimate, call the H.R. Clough Company today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
Last week, we heard from Gail Matthews about her first being diagnosed with lung cancer and its treatment. This week, we hear from her about its rearing ugly head again in her life. Gail?
Now, I had said that I was a never smoker, ever. I didn't even go in high school and try to test it out when the other girls were testing it out. I just didn't like the smell. And in fact, started with the League of Women Voters and a very good dear friend in Massachusetts, the no smoking in restaurants. I would walk out if there was smoking in restaurants. So I was never a smoker. When I went to Dr. Sugarbaker, one of the things I found out in my exam was that non-smokers, tall white women who never smoked, get lung cancer at a higher rate than a smoker. Now go figure. But fast forward to probably 5 years ago, lung cancer is now mentioned. It was not mentioned. It was a stigma. In fact, people would come up to me and say, well, you smoked. And even a smoker shouldn't have lung cancer. So Lung Cancer Alliance is something I found through research. And they were a little tiny office out in Seattle, Washington. And they have grown so big, and they're in Washington, D.C. now, and they lobby for research to be done on lung cancer. They do so much for lung cancer, and if you do have lung cancer, you can call them and they will put you in touch with a buddy who will help you through it all. you can survive today with lung cancer. And the reason you can is not only the work they've done, but because they've come up with new treatment. It's called targeted treatment, and they can find out what kind of lung cancer you have. And as I said, mine was bronchoalveolar carcinoma. And they can target that treatment, and you won't have to go through. While I was in the hospital, I decided that the nurses were really stressed and doing an incredible job. And I called the head of the nurses into my room. Here I am hooked up with stuff. And I said, I hear that the nurses have not been appreciated since 1923. There is no program to say how great they are. So I want to start something. And I gave out all my, I was in a mask, all my orders as to what we were going to do. And we were going to honor the nurses, and we were going to give scholarships, and we were going to put their names up on a plaque on the wall, and we were going to give them whatever they needed. And I found out that the nurses had to run back and forth to their station to get the little thing that goes on your hand to do oxygen, so we gave them that. And then I found out that they didn't have a refrigerator on their floor to keep medicines that have to be refrigerated, and they had to go run and do that. Well, they're running all the time, everywhere. And so we got a refrigerator for there. And then the surgeons and the doctors had a library, but there was not a library for the nurses, so we got a library for them. And then we started a lecture, and we pointed out everything that they did, and this has continued since 2000. There still is a nurse's appreciation, and at one point I got a bronze bench, a sculptor, with a little girl and a little boy reading a book, and it says, I want to be a nurse when I grow up. Leahy put that at the front door, so when you walk in, this is what you see with a garden around it. But the thing that's so cute about it is that the nurses have taken this to heart, and they knit caps in the wintertime and a scarf and put it on the little boy and little girl. They received all sorts of national awards for the work that they were doing. They went to a new level of nursing. And the other thing that really touches me is the fact that somebody saw that it was an appreciation of nurses in the bench and the two children. And they gave $1.5 million to the appreciation fund for the nurses. It just inspired people. And this is what we've got to do. When lemons are thrown in our life, you've got to turn it to lemonade. And that's just been the way I've been, and other people inspire me. Trust me, they really do.
Thanks, Gail, and thanks for letting us know about this terrible disease and the hope for the future treatment during Lung Cancer Awareness Month. Next week, we'll be right back here as Keith Cloughlin joins me again to tease their lineup for next summer here at the New London Barn Playhouse. John Mortimer, the race director of the Capital Well Sunapee Triathlon, will wrap up this year's event. Andrew Bollock, the executive director of the Kearsarge Indian Museum, will tell us about their fundraising auction. And we'll close with a revisit of the piece we did with Barbara Sullivan on the Sunapee livery rebuild. Don't miss our football game of the week at ycnnow.com with replays on WYCX every Sunday and Monday at noon and 5 p.m. This week, we'll be showing the Division IV Championship featuring Newport. Our games are brought to you by HR Clough, LaValley's Building Supply, Barton Insurance, Bubba's Bar and Grill, and Echo Communications. Other programming on WYCX's Outside Television includes original shows featuring the most exciting extreme sports, from rock climbing, biking, water sports, and of course skiing. I'm Abby Peel. Tune in at this same time next week for another Yankee Chronicle. Stay safe, everyone.